Well, hello everyone. He show you right here is a test challenge you talk about. It's like for like an activity I went and put together right here, talking about examples right here of a test. If it could be like a pre-test, and the thinking you have right here are these images right here, similar to images we may have already seen and thinking about. I'm like, yeah, not everybody's born to be perfect, but on your hand, that you see right here the example right here of a test, and you're like wondering, I'm like, 90 minutes to take a test, and you have these examples right here of like what a test would look like if they were to hand out a test and necessarily thinking about, I'm like, here are the directions of how to fill out, the answers, and thinking that I'm like, really, that like you may think that yeah, well that seems pretty simple, but then it's like 90 minutes. You got 90 minutes to go ahead and fill out the answers to the questions, and I'm sure that anybody say getting ready for a test and you're like wondering to where yeah, it makes it real nervous about thinking necessarily to where that you study real hard for it and it seems like the test seems so totally different. You're like wondering, okay, put a check right here, like on this box right here, mark a an X right there, and then right here go ahead and fill in the circle right here. It's like the best answer, but on your hand, for like the test challenge, is that whenever we take tests, it's just thinking about to where that yeah, that depend on how hard we study and is how well that we understand about what we got to do, for any type of test. And a lot of time, like for like multiple choice, that you can maybe get through a test within about maybe 30 minutes. And I know sometimes other people there are taking a test and maybe they're able to zip right through the test. They're able to go move real quickly through the test within about maybe 20 or 25 minutes or so, and necessarily thinking about that they know the answers to this or that, and they can remember, and then they kind of like with me, a couple of tests I've taken from the past couple of years, are like thinking whenever they hand them out, and you're like, you remember some of the answers, but then sometimes it seems like to where, well, yeah, you may have misunderstood the question, or maybe you put the answer in the wrong blank or something like that. And I know some of the teachers like I say that that they would put like a happy face or a smiley face or some character on the top just to show us like if you got a good score, and as well as making copies of from the original copy and as well as for the PDF copy of some sort. But if anyone didn't know about, I'm like, yeah, that have so much time to write down the answers and thinking necessarily to where other examples of tests or pre-quizzes or tests that we may remember like one or two where I'm like, really, are they testing about the speed or about maybe about how much you know? From whenever everything that they talked about, the basic stuff that from what you remember, that type of stuff. So, like talk about say for test knowledge is like for the basics about understanding about test that you're like yeah that really maybe not everybody looks forward to test, but then on the other hand it's like really it's not so bad compared to like thinking about to where whenever you look at the test and necessarily thinking that oh yeah I'm like I remember we were talking about this, or you remember maybe taking notes about that type of stuff. But anyway, what you got right there is like anybody that may one or two word it just to kind of test us and like thinking about well just anything that you can remember from the test, and you're like wondering that why is it that most tests seem totally different from the study guide that that you looked at, like you study real hard, and then whenever they give you the test it just seems like everything's just so totally different. But then way I think about it, though, I'm like, really, that they say, yeah, we can always ask if you got a question about something as well within the 90 minutes about that you're thinking about. I'm like, there may be something that maybe you more likely do know very well about this test that maybe you don't realize it until, yep, it just hasn't happened yet. But other than that, what I'm talking right here is top bless you for your test knowledge. I'd like to say, for May 25, and thanks for watching.